I'm joined in studio now by Utica Comets head coach Trent Cull. Coach, thank you very much for taking a few seconds here. Big week coming up. You've got 3 games over just a span of a few days. I want to just start by saying your team is 2-0-0, got the 2 4-3 wins. What have you liked from your team so far this season?
You know what? I think we've had a little adversity and different guys in and out of the lineup already. So we're kind of figuring our way out together, I think. I really liked our opening game. I thought we played a real sound game all the way through. The second game in Wilkes-Barre, I thought we got off to a quick lead, and maybe a little bit of I didn't love our system game altogether, but you know what? We battled back, we fell down, we made sure we battled back up. Big goal by our captain, Carter Banks, and then we won in overtime. So it was always good to find a way to win when you don't feel like you've played your best game.
So the first game, a 4-3 win in regulation, the second one in overtime. Is there a difference for you or the players, whether it's a 1-goal game, a 4-3 win, or whether you're winning 4-0 or anything like that?
I just think that at this time of the year, again, always appreciate the wins. We always, that's huge, and we feel good about that. But it's something I think that we can learn from 2 different scenarios where we fell back behind, we had to battle our way back in with the last game, and then to go into overtime, it's a good experience for us. We haven't had that this year as a group, so that was good for us to take something from that. And we also said we didn't play as good as we wanted to play. The first game, I thought we got out. We had a good first period, didn't get as rewarded. Second period, played really well, got some goals against Binghamton. But and then you learn how to play with a lead. They had battled back, pushed right down the last couple of minutes there with a 1-goal lead. So different, I guess, teaching moments for our group, which is kind of vital, I think, for us early in the season.
And early in the season, those 2 wins did come on the road as well. Now back home tomorrow for the home opener against the Syracuse Crunch. Just how big is it to get back home and have a 4-game homestand?
Oh, we're always excited to play at home, be in front of your hometown fans who are great, and just to feed off their energy. And we love playing at the Odd too. It's such an Adirondack Bank Center. It's such a great place for us, and we feel home there. But we'll have some nerves, probably more nerves than we had on the road. When you start out on the road, it's kind of nice. You get away from everything and kind of get the feel of your group together. So that's kind of makes it easier transition for us now playing at home.
And a lot of the players earlier at the Adirondack Bank Center were telling me that they're talking about the crowd, whether they've been there for a few years, whether they're brand new. They're all talking about what this crowd is going to be like. From your perspective as the head coach of the team, what do you see from this crowd in these home games, or what are you expecting for tomorrow's?
Just your kind of like your 6th player, your extra player. They do a great job. The chants and how they get behind the team and the individuals and the groups and how we're doing, whether it's specialty teams, etc. But also too, they're a knowledgeable fan base. They know what's going on. They're used to American Hockey League hockey, so it makes us feel good. Sometimes we need a kick in the butt, and they're there to do it. And sometimes they're just backing us up when we need a little bit of love, and they've done a great job. And for us, it's great to feel that love from the group, and it certainly does help us.
Is home ice advantage an actual thing, though?
Absolutely. I think it's just because of if things are not going well and they can pick you back up as a group, it's fantastic. Or if things are going well and then they get chanting and roaring, and all of a sudden we're playing better. And as the visiting team, which I know what that experience is like, all of a sudden the crowd's roaring, the home team is roaring. It's all of a sudden it seems sometimes insurmountable. So I think for sure it's a real good ally for us, that's for sure.
And I think one thing that's obvious to most fans, just the regular fan watching the game, is the noise. They can hear that. That's something that is almost tangible. What exactly is it, though, specifically that these players get while on the ice from hearing that? What actual effect does it have?
You know what? A lot of that stuff is, I know for me, is I click out on all that to try to dial in on what I'm doing, and I know that the players are really focused on them. But for the players specifically, they're going out for 30 seconds to 45 second stints, or say a minute maximum. So when they come off, but when they're sitting there and recouping on the bench, that's when you let all that other stuff kind of seep in, and you can see it and feel it, and that's where I think that's the big thing. Or of course, if you get a big goal, then their players' elation and the fans as well, all erupting together. That's a pretty great feel.
In what way might it make the team, especially the new guys, feel connected to the community because they're there supporting a team like that?
Yeah, no, and I think that we talk a lot about as a group that, that the people are going to know who you are. So, making sure that, we're sometimes you put a ball cap on and guys are out in the community, don't think anyone knows. It's a smaller community, which I think is great, and it's a great family-oriented area for players and for me as coaches. And so I think that part is just part and parcel of, you bring that with you, you talk to people outside of the rink, you see them, then you're there, and people kind of know you, and you talk about being part of the fabric for sure. And that's where it's more than just a fan. It's sometimes people that that are actually there cheering for you.
And how about the fact that it's the Syracuse Crunch that are coming for this home opener? Obviously the team's made a big deal about it. They're just an hour west of here. How big is it to play that kind of division rival at home?
Well, it's like you said at the start, like we're playing the next 3 games in 4 nights. Really good competition. Syracuse is always a team who's at the top of our division. Rochester is as well. We'll see them on Saturday. And then you have the team who won the championship last year coming in with Charlotte. So it's just a real good, I guess, measuring stick to see how we're moving along together right now, and then how we're moving along against the other teams in the league and our division.
And Syracuse has had some pretty big success over the past few years. So how big would it be for this team, momentum-wise, to get a win over them early on?
Yeah, you know what? Of course, we always want to win games, but I think it's how we're playing too, and how we feel we're playing. And I think that's part of the thing. It's a long stretch during the season, and we obviously want to do well in our home opener, but it's a marathon. We want to make sure we're playing the right way, and that's our focus. And it's a great rivalry, though. Like Syracuse, hour away, et cetera, et cetera. I've had a little bit of a relationship with them in the past too. So, but you know what? It's nice for us to get off on the right foot, and we look forward to having a good game against them.
So 2 of the players right now, Zane McIntyre, and then today Ashton Sotner, are called up to the Canucks, and that probably presents some challenges as an AHL team. What kind of challenges might not the regular fan notice about that kind of revolving door, as Ashton actually quoted back on October 1st?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's Zane's played our first 2 games for us on the road. He's come in, he's done a really good job. Obviously 2 wins like we talked about, so we'll miss Zane. And then Ashton too, he's come in, he's moved over, he's a left shot, he's moved over to the right side. We've talked about that as like kind of another challenge for him. And he's played with Oli Levy, so it's certainly 2 good players. Now also too, we got some injuries as well, so we're missing some guys, but that's kind of how it goes in the American Hockey League. Through injuries or call-ups, there's opportunity for other guys to get the nod or to get some more ice time, and that's what we've always kind of sold. It's kind of the next man up and the opportunity for the next guys.
As far as Zane is concerned, were you at all considering starting another one of the goalies anyway for this home opener?
I don't know. I never really. I always kind of take that day by day because of my experience in the league and what's happened. There's always, I guess you'd say, a variety pack of things that are going to happen to you, and you're always dealing with multiple number of people. It's not just exactly 20 guys, so there's always 25 or 26 call-up injuries, etc. So it's always an ever-changing landscape, that's for sure. So those are decisions that I kind of keep tight to the vest until I need to say it.
And one of the guys who's been really big for this team, who is here still, is Reed Boucher, scoring 4 goals over the first 2 games. The first 2 goals for the Comets in both games. Just how big has he been for the team?
Just Reed he's turned out to be a pretty fast starter. He did the same thing last year, and he's a guy who's worked really hard, I think, over the summer. To see him get those instant dividends, I think, is good for him personally. And for us too, Reed plays in all situations. He does a really good job, and by him getting off to scoring like that too, it kind of reduces the pressure on some of the other guys. It's such a huge part, I think, for our league is a lot about winning and developing, and both back and forth. So I think he's a huge part to that. And does it surprise me? No. I mean, Reed's a great pro, and we're lucky to have him.
And I know that you and the players probably don't think too much about personal stats because you're trying to win games. You want to be improving and developing, as you said. But it is true that at the moment, after those 4 goals so far this season, 5 more, and Boucher ties Darren Archibald for the most goals in franchise history. How big would that be for the team to have that happen this season? And I mean, early on, it seems like it's going to, for sure.
Yeah, no, I can't see why it wouldn't happen. Reed is. His time here has kind of been the time that I've had here as well, and for me to have him is kind of, I'd say, almost like a bullet in the gun. He's been such a good pro, and he's played so well, and like I said, all the situations. So I think it'd be great for him. It'd be great for the fans too to see that as well, because you know what, he's one of those players who's right there on the fringe of the NHL, and it's awesome for us to have had kind of so much time with him.
And just to talk a little bit about the 3 games that are coming up over a short span, after having the first game and second game separated by a week, how do you get the guys to really just stay so focused and energetic? Because hockey's a tiring game too, to play so many games.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you know what, this is kind of more typically how our season runs. So finally, I feel like almost after today's practice, as opposed to making up 5 practices for the last 2 weeks, and we've had double ice sessions to make sure we're getting a lot of things, I guess, accomplished and introductions to things. So I think the guys are ready to play some games. We all feel it, and it's like I said, it's more, okay, now the season can get going. We're very fortunate. We love the start. Great job by our players, great job by our guys. So, but now it's time to kind of really start the year.
So this is actually kind of more how the momentum goes, and this can actually help pick things up.
For sure, and it's going to be day by day. You're working, and it's nice. If things didn't work out, then you always have a game coming the next day that you can kind of move on and away you go. Or if things are going great, you want to keep it rolling.
And just looking ahead toward the rest of the season, what is going to make 2019-2020 different than the past few?
I don't know. I mean, I think we have I like I'm going to say, I use the word vibe, but our group, how they are together, I think there's a little bit of a swagger to them, and they feel good about themselves. We've tried to incorporate as much as we can with, welcoming our guys at the rink and keeping them there, and Vancouver's helped us with some extra coaches and staff, and so never mind the Utica, like just the people at the Adirondack Bank Center, working with Rob and his staff. I mean, it's been just a different bit of a feeling this year, and it's really good. And maybe it's me maturing as a coach or our group or whatever it is, but I think we're all in a good spot, and it's nice to be able to come to work every day, and that's the vibe we're trying to create, and we're excited about it, and can't wait to start playing some games at home.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Home opener tomorrow against the Syracuse Crunch at the Adirondack Bank Center at 7 p.m.